Hi everybody, Playtendoguy here, and welcome to my review of Horizon Zero Dawn. Creating a new IP can be hard, especially when the industry is mostly made up of sequels and reboots of popular franchises. But that is the task that faced developer Guerrilla Games, the guys behind the popular Killzone franchise, when creating Horizon Zero Dawn, its incredibly brave new IP. Let's see how they did, shall we? Horizon Zero Dawn is another post-apocalyptic set game, with the sort of sci-fi meets tribal setting. The world as we know it has pretty much gone to pop. Gone are the cities, the buildings and the vehicles. Nature's pretty much taken back control of the world, with the exception of loads of massive metal beasts, and the humans that inhabit the world have gone back to tribal times. It's certainly a really interesting setup. Anyway, the story revolves around a young woman named Aloy. When she was a child, she was exiled from her tribe, and she eventually grows up to find out she's the chosen one to save the world. The story is certainly not Horizon's strong point, but it does offer a serviceable story that does have its moments. Future. Aloy as a character is actually really quite likeable. She's frank and to the point, and she's a strong female character that will certainly have a promising future on a PlayStation console. It's just a shame that the other characters you meet in the game are unfortunately rather bland, boring and rather generic in comparison. Thankfully, the combat gameplay is absolutely fantastic. Aloy's main weapon of choice is a bow and arrow, and at first it does modest damage, but as you go through the game you gain access to a huge variety of more powerful weapons, such as the Rattler, which is like a wooden machine gun that fires loads of short-range wooden bullets, to the rope caster that can be used to trip over huge enemies. As well as that, going in all guns blazing, you can take down the smallest mechanical beasts with some fun stealth-based combat. The game also features a load of light platforming sections that won't worry Nathan Drake at the moment, but could be expanded upon in the eventual sequel. The game does feature some light RPG elements with elemental damage like fire and ice, as well as a leveling up system. You also have a skill tree which is useful and has loads of handy skills that will help you on your adventure. Talking about the adventure, the main story consists of 20 odd main missions that start off with a few levels as Aloy as a young girl. It's a nice setup that works really well. Then the game eventually picks up when she's a young woman and the game really begins. You travel from tribe to tribe, meeting different folks, taking quests and side quests, as well as the main missions. The main missions are okay, but mostly all play out the same. You either go to a certain place and either inspect an area, or go there and kill a load of humans or mechanical enemies. The game does lack that one moment when all the game's mechanics all join up at once to make a crescendo of excellence. It does come very close though. The moment you fight the incredibly massive Thunderjaw is fantastic, but most missions really just feel very safe. One thing I was worried about that the mechanical beasts would lack variety. Thankfully there's no such thing. There's a pretty decent range of creatures to kill, from the Watcher that has a big eye that can alert other enemies if it finds you, to the humongous and threatening Thunderjaw, which is an absolute colossus of metal that could kill you instantly in the early stages of the game. The open world is pretty huge. I would certainly say it's bigger than Final Fantasy XV, but it is smaller than The Witcher 3. As per normal for open world games, there's much more to do by the main missions. There's a good range of collectibles like melt flowers and ancient relics to find. There's also these huge giraffe-like creatures which play much out like the towers in Ubisoft games, but they're much more better and enjoyable. And thankfully, unlike Ubisoft open world games, there aren't too many collectibles to find, and it feels much less of a slog for it. There are also plenty of side missions, each with their own narrative, and play very much like small versions of main missions. There's also errands to run that net some decent rewards and enemy camps to raid. There's also several dungeon-like areas to complete and a few other type of missions to keep you busy and occupied in between story missions. All these activities are perfect for leveling up Aloy and don't feel like a waste of time. Graphically, the game is absolutely gorgeous. This is the reason to own a PS4 Pro. The huge open world looks beautiful. Many times I've paused the game just to look in awe how beautiful and realistic the game looks. In all areas of the world, whether it's the forestry areas, the sandy desert wastelands or the snowy mountains, there's plenty of eye candy on offer. Fine. The facial capturing though could do with a little bit of work. Aloy and the few of the main characters look fine, but the other characters' expressions do look a bit off. It's no deal breaker at all, and it certainly does rival Uncharted 4 as the best looking PS4 game. Conclusion time now, and wow. Guerrilla Games certainly know how to make a strong debut, as Horizon Zero Dawn is a brave new attempt at a franchise. There were some people worrying whether the game would not live up to expectation, but thankfully, Horizon Zero Dawn is everything it promised to be, and more. With a huge and beautiful world full of things to do and see, Horizon is a technical masterpiece and an incredibly fun action RPG. This is the new flagship title for PS4, and everybody should buy it. The game gets a 9 out of 10 with the title of brilliant. Thank you for watching my review, like, rate and subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming. Bye.